Hey, welcome to Black Amethyst Oracle. This is Carmen. Today I will be doing 3 readings, looking into 3 different collective energy groups and the connection on your mind, the person you're thinking of, dreaming of, or dealing with. and I'm going to ask 21 questions each. I have the list of questions before me, and I will put those down in the description box if you're curious. I have chosen a deck for each group and a stone, and I pulled up the Wheel of Fortune card for each so that you can vibe out the energy, see which one you may find yourself in, and hopefully get some answers today. Number 1 is using the Children of Litha deck, and we have lepidolite with pink tourmaline. There's also some calcite, but lepidolite. Number 2 is using serpent fire with this desert rose. And number 3 is using the Orion's Animal deck with labradorite. That's the polished side and the raw side. Okay, so I will insert a photograph so you can get a little bit of a better view. These stones are extremely difficult to photograph, but I will see you at your chosen reading. Thanks. Hi to group 1. I'm hoping the sunlight will remain as it is. It's been coming and going and all kinds of things are happening. I have my list of questions printed out. They'll be down in the description box if you're curious. You chose the lepidolite. It has some pink tourmaline in it. It's just really sweet. There's definitely a sweetness already coming off of here. I assume that's you. We'll see about your person. Let's go. I got these questions and I've been meditating for a little bit. Group 1's connection, lepidolites. These cards are so thick. What's the current vibe of this connection? 9 of Swords. Okay, so someone's very upset. Current vibe. High Priestess. Okay. I will answer this, and I'm going to go ahead and get into your energy showing up in the connection and how is their energy showing up in the connection. How is your energy showing up in the connection? How is lepidolite's number 1's energy showing up? Okay. That's 3 of Swords. And 6 of Cups. So you're showing up as heartbroken and very distraught and sad and really caught up in the memories of the connection. And when I asked about the current vibe of this connection at spiritual level, there is an energy here with the 9 of Swords and the High Priestess that I would, before I even get to their energy, I would venture to say that you're both feeling a lot of upset, and we will look further into that, but let's go ahead and pull out their energy. How is their energy showing up in this connection? 5 of Swords. And And the Nine of Pentacles. So your person's energy, they're showing up in the connection as a bit scattered, like disorganized and a little frenzied and a little sort of scattered and just distracting themselves with whatever they need to do to take care of themselves kind of vibe, like whatever that is, you know, their personality. They're concentrating on taking care of themselves, but they're definitely feeling a bit disoriented by the situation as far as like, you know, the way they're showing up in the connection energetically. Like they're at a loss, and they're having a lot of conflict, and their real focus right now is just kind of like taking some time alone and just really taking care of themselves. And you seem to be, just like I said, like heartbroken, very sad. It's a miserable kind of energy, Three of Swords, and I really feel for that. And the Six of Cups is, like I said, like you're just going over and over in your mind. There's a lot of sweet memories. You're remembering probably the good times more than the times that weren't so good. And this being the current vibe of the connection, the Nine of Swords, you know, is always anxiety and discomfort and regret and like guilt, and like there's just a lot of upset and a lot of disruption, and the High Priestess is just making me feel like it's really between both of you. Like there is an energetic bond between the two of you, with the High Priestess showing up, and that there is this feeling of you both kind of feeling like it's out of your hands, at least for the moment. Like it feels like energetically, the bond itself is reliant upon more spiritual guidance, you know. I would like to the vibe of this connection. Whoa. Yeah, the vibe of the connection being showing up as stop. Yeah, there's just been like a halt to everything that was going on. Like it's almost like protective of the connection. Like it's like if there will be any, you know, any life beyond within this connection, for the connection, it requires at this moment, possibly for reasons unbeknownst to you both, a waiting period and a halt and a stop and a pause, or, you know, and for your energy, hunger. Yeah, you're really craving this love and this connection, and feeling empty and sad. And them, comfort. They're just doing what they need to do. Like they're managing the best way they know how. They're you know, seeking comfort in whatever ways, like I said, with this self-care, like whatever it is they do to distract themselves, that's their focus right now. And like I said, it just feels like it's out of your hands. It's out of your hands. It's out of their hands. Like there's just this sort of like time of healing, I think, happening. And, you know, the rest remains to be seen, but let's go on to question 4. What are their current feelings about you? I would tell you that intuitively, I already get a sense that they are kind of blocking feelings and kind of avoiding feelings. with them showing up here as a bit scattered and lost, and here as just really focused on taking care of themselves. I saw that twice. I think, you know, intuitively I can tell you that their current feelings for you are going to be deeper than, you know, than their surface knowing of them. Person's current feelings for one lepidolite. We have a 5 of Pentacles, which is they are feeling the loss. They are feeling the lack. They're missing you. And they may be fighting that with everything they've got, you know, seeking comfort and taking care of themselves. I'm sorry, there's an ant on this card and it's gonna drive me crazy. Where did it go? I don't know. All right. I'm sorry. I can't stand those things. They're everywhere in my house. Yeah. So their current feelings for you is showing up as 5 of Pentacles, which is lack and missing you. They're missing you, and I believe they're doing everything they can to distract themselves and kind of regain their focus, put their focus somewhere, because they're feeling very scattered with this 5 of Swords, and really just doing their best to get through the day, like get through every, you know, one day at a time kind of vibe, and like just taking care of themselves and distracting and avoiding falling into the despair, because this 9 of Swords over here in the connection's energy, it could very easily suck you both into feeling exactly this. You know, so this person, your person is really just trying to hold tight and not fall into that. And their current thoughts about you, question 5, their current thoughts about one lepidolite. Current thoughts. We have a 7 of Pentacles, which is they're thinking about the time that you spent together, and the energy that you've invested in each other, and where it was headed, and the loss, and, you know, of that investment in each other. They're definitely caught up in this with you. All right, where are we? Oh, so I guess this question was really like their current thoughts about you, whereas the next one's more about what have they been thinking about the connection. So yeah, like they're seeing you as, you know, a place where there's been, you know, they've invested energy, and you know, there's all this, they see you as having a lot of potential, and potentially being well worth every bit of that energy. Sorry. And then what have they been thinking about this connection more specifically? We have an 8 of Swords. They're really just trapped in a confused state. They are just at a loss for what to do. They're confused. They just feel stuck and trapped. And as far as like the connection, you know, they don't really feel like they can do anything. And it's like I said up here, like it's almost like it feels like it's out of your hands. It feels like it's out of their hands. It feels like it's out of your hands. What question are we on? What is a challenge for them in this connection? Challenge for them in this connection. 3 of Pentacles is just making it work, and coming together and having everything like seamlessly, I just want to say effective. Like it just wasn't working. Something wasn't working, and it feels like between you there is a feeling of of timing, and there's a feeling of a breakdown in communication, and I feel like there's a bit of a stubbornness around compromise. It was challenging for them to let go of, you know, some of their ways, and to compromise certain things they had their sort of mindset on, right? All right, what are their current intentions for this connection? Their current intentions for this connection. Queen of Wands. I get the feeling that they want to regain power that they have been missing in themselves, like regain a feeling of you know, being able to do it, being able to do things, being able to take on life, being able to take on challenges, being able to you know, stand sort of like in strength and courage and in conviction for the things that will be better in their lives, and the things that they don't want to. There's a feeling of like overcoming self-sabotage here, of dismissing their own self-limiting beliefs that they seem to have an awareness of existing. Did I say all those words? Okay, sorry. Number 9, what do they really want to happen between you next? The Hermit. They're still seeking this answer. They're not sure. They're still, you know, deep within a sort of solitude, you know, and this 8 of Swords is that confusion and that stuckness. So this doesn't surprise me. As far as like intentions go, they really aren't sure. They're still looking for that information inside about, in their soul, like what to do and how to rise to this Queen of Wands power, and how to overcome these sort of stubborn, inflexible issues that they have, like where they're not good at compromising. They feel like somebody who maybe like isn't really good at blending their own life with other people. And remember, back here you had the 9 of Pentacles, and there's this like they're in this need for alone time and self-care, and like I think that's a prominent trait in this person, like that they kind of regularly before you just have been somebody who's quite independent and quite sort of like in their own ritual and routine, and sort of maybe hasn't really had successful long-term relationships, because there's a sense of fear in them. There's a sense of them not being able to surrender and be vulnerable to magic. I know that's a lot, but that's just what I'm getting. What question are we on? What do they really want to happen between you next? Like deep down. Knight of Cups. They would like to be able to come forward with an offer for you. They would like very much to tell you how they really feel. They would like to tell you how much you mean to them, express emotion with you. I feel they have a difficult time with this. They don't like being vulnerable. They don't like being, they're not comfortable with you know, making the wrong decision ever. But they would, I think deep down, they would really love, deep down, they would really love to just be able to be what you want and need, and make, you know, just grab you up on this horse and ride off into the sunset and just have like this really beautiful thing. Okay, number 10. What is this connection bringing to your life? Number 1, lepidolite. What is this connection bringing to your life? This is the 8 of Wands. You're learning to just move through discomfort with courage. You're learning to spot like where your energy should be and what you can really see yourself investing in and see yourself going for, what's worth it to you. Like really kind of this connection is helping you to see that and helping you to kind of know. It's also teaching you patience. And I know that may seem, if you know the 8 of Wands is a hurry, you know, a hurry energy, like fast movement, right? But this here I'm feeling for you is this connection is teaching you to wait and to be a little more patient, because I think you have been someone who's ready to dive in and rush in, you know, before or here, you know, and there's you're seeing something that might be worth waiting for. And you're really learning to look and make that decision and make that call. Number 11, what is something for you to learn or see from this experience? Well, I guess that's just an expansion on this. Something for 1 lepidolite to learn from this experience. Knight of Wands. That really feels like an echo of this 8 of Wands, where you're seeing how you move, how you rush in, you know, like it's not the Knight of Swords rushing in, but it is an impulsive energy. It's like going after what you want and being used to getting what you want, and believing that that's how you make things happen, that's how you manifest, is just charging ahead. But you may be learning to see that, you know, there are times when, you know, you have to make allowance for being not the only one in charge here. You know, like it's not just about like you going after what you want and getting it. Sometimes you have to meet in the middle, and you may have to wait for someone there or not. You know, making that decision as well about when not to go, when not to wait, and when not to rush, and when not to when to just turn around and just go the other way. Like all of it. It's this experience is teaching you to really like assess the way you move through connections and the way you rush and yeah. Okay. And then what is something they have learned or are seeing now from this experience? What is something they have learned from the experience? This is a Five of Wands. They're learning about the way they work with others and the way they get along with others, and how to communicate and resolve conflict. You know, they're learning about their boundaries and being a little less selfish and respecting other people's boundaries, and really there's a feeling here of expecting people to I want to say like let them down. Like there's this feeling, or them letting themselves down. There's a releasing of they are learning about the release of that grip, that like that hold on you know their, on what fortifies their walls, you know, like what it is that is you know, there's this defensiveness that they are recognizing, this walled up energy that they carry and that they hold, that isn't always serving them, and that they may be a bit defensive and kind of jump to conclusions kind of vibe. And there's this feeling that rather than, you know, fight for something together, they take the easy road and like fight internally, and then have to like it's again, it's that sabotage energy. It's like self-sabotage energy, like this feeling of, you know, wanting to protect themselves so much that they fight themselves internally unnecessarily. And they're learning to like recognize that they do that. Okay. This question almost sounds like a repeat, but if anything were possible, what is their deepest desire for the connection? If anything were possible, what is their deepest desire for this connection? King of Wands, just absolute glory and power and ownership. Like really just all the passion, all the strength, all the vitality, all the power. Did I say that? You know, just really showing up in this, they would like to be ultimately, their deepest desire is that they can show up this way, that they can show up and claim something that is right and true and good. Okay. What do they want you to know about their current state of mind? What do they want you to know about their current state of mind? Page of Wands. I think they're trying to sort it out. They want you to know that it matters to them, and they feel you and they feel it, and they are trying really hard to get it together. This is an African wild dog on the card. And, you know, wild dog, but still a dog. There's a loyalty. They want you to know they're still feeling the connection. They're still feeling connected to you, like you're a part of each other, like you have a bond, and they haven't forgotten, and they're working on, you know, themselves. They feel a bit like a rookie, you know, like they feel like a newbie to anything this big, anything this passionate. It's like a whole new level of intensity that was just, they felt like they weren't really like prepared for. What do they want you to know about their heart? What do they want you to know about their heart? We have a Two of Pentacles. Their heart is their heart is really trying to become and remain grounded and figure out how to balance everything in life, and how to balance love and life. I'm gonna get one of these, another one of these about sort of these questions that I've been asking about what they desire and what they would want you to know. Intuition. I think they are again with this Hermit, I think they're just really trying to access an inner knowingness, you know, like about everything, about what they're doing, and about what's happening between you, and about how to move forward. Okay. Where are we now? What is the emerging energy between you? Emerging energy between lepidolite and their person. Emerging. Queen of Cups. Lots of the love is remaining strong. The love is unconditional. It's going to last through stuff. It will still be there. It's supportive. It's nurturing and caring love. It's the kind of love that you know, when I think of the Queen of Cups, I know it's not an Empress, but I think a lot about maternity and maternal feelings and instincts. That's the vibe I get on the kind of love that Queen of Cups represents. And you know how they say, like, you know, a mother's love never dies, you know, that kind of thing. Like, you can't really break that, you know? And that's really just sort of the vibe here. Like, what is emerging between, you know, what is the emerging energy between you? It's just the constant hum of this always constant love, you know, like consistent unconditional love that is a thread between you, sort of tying you together beneath it all, you know? Like, it will it seems to be rising and making itself more apparent. It's emerging. What is emerging in your energy? What is emerging in lepidolite one's energy? We have the Six of Pentacles. There's a graciousness and a kindness emerging in you that is, it's kind of like if you've gone through a series of feelings or you know, a whole range of emotions, you know, if you felt the full range of emotions, you know, sad, happy, mad, and even the stages of grief kinds of ideas and feelings, like, you know, just trying to talk yourself through it. There's this emerging energy in you that is forgiving and compassionate. Like, it's understanding where they are and who they are and what they're made of, you know, and loving them anyway. And, you know, quite possibly still hoping for a mutual, a beneficial relationship, a sharing of each other in your lives, but at the very least, a compassion for them. Like, if you've been mad at them or disappointed in them, it's turning into more of an understanding of them and a forgiveness and a like I said, compassion. And what is emerging in their energy? We have the King of Cups. You know, with the Queen of Cups emerging in the energy between you and the King of Cups emerging as in their energy, you know, they are facing their feelings. They are finally going to allow themselves to feel their feelings. They may still remain to, you know, on the surface to you, like they may still appear to be very controlled and maybe not showing you everything and giving you everything. Like, we've got the Knight of Cups here and what they would really like, and like they're not they may not necessarily quickly be able to jump into Knight of Cups and come forward with the energy, but they're going to face it. They're going to feel it. It's big and heavy, and they're tired of denying it, and they're going to feel it, and they'll probably let you know that it exists, but they may not be completely ready to act on it. They may more just, you know, let you know that they care. It's really cool you have the King and the Queen here in the emergent energy. That's very promising. And with the Six of Pentacles, that's a, you know, that's a sharing and a reciprocity. And I think that it looks like something emerging between the two of you involves love and letting each other know, like, your deep feelings. It doesn't necessarily equate to a whole lot of action, but it's just the knowingness that love exists. Okay. Oh, but now we're in the what might happen next question. What might happen next between you? Death. This is the rebirth. This is the regeneration. This is the transformation. A lot of times with death, you know, people assume that's an ending, but I almost always read it as the way I read in real life, death as a not an ending at all, but a beginning. It could be the end of a separation even, but at any rate, it seems like what might happen next between you could be the rebirth that you've wanted. Let me get another card just to accompany this death for a little more clarification and a little fortitude here with how I'm reading it. Tell me about this death that might happen next. Page of Pentacles. Yeah, I would say that that's just, you know, confirmation that it's a sweet and constant, persistent energy. Let me get one of these for what might happen next. What might happen next in this connection? Illumination. That goes well with the death. Yeah. Seeing it all, seeing it for what it is, seeing what to do. That might happen next. All right. What is the current outlook for this connection? Current outlook for this connection. And I want to say this is different from asking like what might happen next. This is a little bit farther. The current outlook, or just a vibe. It's more of this. What might happen next is like a event, action, right? And what might what the current outlook is more the vibe and the energy and the and a farther potential, right? What is the current outlook for this connection? Queen of Swords. This is, you know, acting on with power, acting with authority, acting someone making decisions and moving. It would be like it would be forward movement, but it would be in a more like calculated, strategic way. It would be like, okay, this time we're going to try things this way and we're going to use our, you know, we're going to use like some logic and some rational thinking to, you know, address issues of the past and concerns that we have moving forward. What is something you need to keep in mind about the future of this connection? Something you need to keep in mind about the future of this connection. Something one lepidolite needs to keep in mind. The Tower. So this is going to be largely intuitive, but I think that you have to be patient and understand that this person has to feel the loss of you and feel the idea and the prospect, be able to imagine the prospect of life without you and sit in that and recover from that and make a decision and make their decisions that it looks like they could be moving toward it from a place of looking at your entire situation and probably their whole life and plan from a different perspective. Tower energy is a shakeup, you know, there's this everything. They might have to really just hit the bottom, you know, and it may take some time because sometimes the moment may arrive and crumble rather quickly, but the recovery time, you know, could take longer, and you may or may not, you know, depending on your situation, need to just really just let them do that themselves. They seem very independent and stubborn, so I would say that it's going to be important for them to come to their own conclusions and to, you know, move forward from their own strength and their own healed energy than from, you know, being coaxed or lured back, you know, into anything by you. That's just, you know, what I think you should keep in mind about the future moving forward. I think it's probably prudent for you to just, you know, share in some similar energy as them and take care of yourself and focus on yourself and have some faith that what's meant to be will be. And you know, that's what the Wheel of Fortune was all about, is just this, you know, this idea of timing and luck and destiny. So if those are true for you, you will know soon enough. Okay, and now I'm gonna get another for that question, something to keep in mind about the future of this connection. For number 1, for our lepidolite group, control. You cannot control this person's healing or journey or tower. You know, like you cannot, you know, speaking to this is what this is about, that last question. What you need to keep in mind, like, they have to actually relinquish some of the control and the grip that they've been holding on to, and the resistance to go into the feelings and the resistance to fall into despair. Like, they've really got to work it all out. And so they've got their own like self-control to grapple with, but you have to fully understand that you cannot, like I said, coax, lure, or, you know, entice them back. It probably would be best to just, you know, let go and let them sort it out. So those are the answers to the 21 questions. If this was your situation, it was pretty specific. So if it was, hopefully this has been helpful for you, and I will hopefully see you again. Thank you. Hi to group 2. You chose Desert Rose and Serpent Fire Tarot. I've already shuffled the Wheel of Fortune back in, and we're going to get into these questions. Let's go through these questions for group 2. Desert Rose. Looking at the connection on the mind of the people, minds of the people here in group 2. What is the current vibe of this connection at the spiritual level? 5 of Cups, King of Swords. This is speaking of a decision to end and the sadness of that, the loss, the having to deal with the fact that something is missing, and trying to do so trying to clarify it, you know, like trying to understand it. So at the soul level, the connection appears to be broken or not healthy, and there's an effort and an energy in the understanding and the ownership of all parts of that. I would like to get your energy and their energy, and then I'll also get some other cards to talk about these three questions together. How is number 2, Desert Rose energy, showing up in the connection? 4 of Swords, Seven of Swords. So your energy appears to be presenting in the connection as really thinking about it a lot, in a solitude kind of way, like just resting and kind of sleeping on it, and just thinking about it a lot. These are swords. Swords, it's all very mental, so there's a lot of mental energy in general. So for you, your energy and the connection appears to be showing up as really thinking about whether or not this was what you thought it was. Because Seven of Swords is it's always about deceit and dishonesty, and you may be wondering, if you've been lied to, or if everything was on the level, or if you just even understood things the way they really in reality were. And the energy of the other person in this connection. How is their energy showing up in the connection with Desert Rose? 4 of Pentacles. They're being a bit guarded. That's the Fool. I see them as just really not knowing what's going to happen, and not really knowing maybe what happened, but also that guardedness, that like protecting themselves. I feel like it's an emotional protection that's happening. It could also be the feeling of not wanting anything to upset some sort of balance that they've felt they've maintained in their own lives. So really just sort of guarded against that, like not wanting to be knocked off their perceived out of their position of like what they perceive to be control. I'm not saying they don't have control. I just feel like they, it's relative. So I just think that they're concerned. They seem to be concerned about what you could do, or anyone could do, but especially with regard to this connection, they seem to be concerned about anybody being able to come in and affect them negatively, or what they think is negatively, or just take from them. And I get emotionally, like there's something about control, and they don't want to relinquish like an ounce of it, like they have a hard time with that. But yet they don't know what's going to happen, and they don't know necessarily what happened. They've almost got like they almost seem a little unaware. in the grand scheme, affected, but not putting all the pieces together yet. Yeah. And it feels like, with you in this contemplation and the Seven of Swords, like I said, like kind of wondering like if things were what you thought they were. It's something, it feels like an almost shared energy in that respect. Like that part about not really knowing what happened. And yet over here, in the energy of the connection, yeah, that desire, that like wanting to understand and feel it was the right move kind of energy. Let me get these for these questions as well. We have questions 1, 2, 3 from the list. And this is again like, talk to me about the current vibe of the connection at the spiritual level. What's the current vibe? We have balance. Yeah, this is just telling me, I think you're both kind of in a similar boat. I mean, you're in Four of Swords and they're in Four of Pentacles. And like, you're both kind of like calibrating and assessing and thinking and a bit closed off while you sort of sort it out. That feels like pretty consistent through those. Number 2, Desert Rose person is showing up how energetically? Fear. Yeah. You seem to be dealing with some fear of the unknown and some worries around these things that you're not sure about. Like you're not sure what happened and whether or not it seems to be weighing on you, whether or not you were wrong or lied to. And it's I get the feeling of you kind of shutting down in the face of this fear and just feeling rattled and just like wanting to be numb is what I feel. And then the other person is showing up how in this connection? Stop. So they're showing up as just as kind of quit, like this like quit energy, like I quit, I can't, I don't, I do, no, like this guardedness and this, I don't know, like I don't know what happened. I don't know what I feel like they're like, I don't know what I want, I don't know what happened, I don't know what I'm doing, I don't know anything. Sorry, I'm just like, that must be very frustrating for you. And I can see how that would be confusing and bring up some stuff about wondering whether or not you were even lied to. Like if this person came and was involved with you in some way and said XYZ and then just stopped and doesn't appear to know anything anymore, then I can see how you would be like, well, were you lying? Are you lying now? Like, which is it? Like, were you lying about how you felt about me, or are you lying now about wanting to stop? Like, I can see how this would be just really super uncomfortable and be bringing up your own darkness and fear, and you seem to be sort of retreating into that in a way, which is very uncomfortable and what are their current feelings for you? This person's current feelings for number 2, Desert Rose. 5 of Wands. Yeah, they're just very just more of that guardedness and that more of that feeling of that stop feeling and that guardedness. There's just more of that. Like their feelings are like really defensive and really kind of they've just put up walls, put up boundaries, and they just feel, I think they can feel I actually kind of feel like they feel bad in a way about the idea of maybe messing things up. And I know that sounds different than, you know, how they're acting, but I get the feeling that they're like, they feel you slipping away kind of, and they just don't know what to do. Huh. What a confusing situation. I don't know what's happening, but it feels confusing. What are their current thoughts about... Oh, shit. Sorry. Dropped a card and caught it between my knees. What are their... which was a 10 of Pentacles, by the way. But the question is, what are their current thoughts about you? Because this is more feelings. They feel you. That they may be losing you, and I think there's a part of them that feels bad about everything. But anyway, the thoughts about you, and I said I just caught the 10 of Pentacles between my knees, which is heavy, like the burden of responsibility. Like I think that might be a part of it, but let's just see, like, what are their current thoughts about number 2, the Desert Rose person? King of Pentacles. There's still a lot of control here and having things their way. And there's this feeling of them thinking that somehow your connection and your involvement in their life was somehow threatening to their perceived control. Like it would somehow interfere with them being able to get everything they want in life. Huh. What in the world? All right. What have they been thinking about this connection? Ace of Swords. They've been thinking about it, and they've been, trying to get clarity, trying to get the truth of the matter, and like, I think there's also I get a bit of a Two of Swords feeling here with this Ace of Swords, and I feel that they are really kind of torn, like in this, like their thoughts about this connection are, on one hand, they feel it's amazing and could be amazing, and could offer like a whole new world of possibilities, a totally unknown path that could turn out to be like pure magic, kind of. And then there's this other part of them that they're torn about, that is just like without you, it could also be very great, it could also be very good, grand or whatever, but would it be lonely there? Like, would they ever find, something? Do they even want something? They just really don't know what they want. And I can see how that would cause stuff in you. Like, if you're just like, this is not what you said. This is not how you acted, like, what, how could you do a 180 like that? It feels like they did a 180 on you, and you're just like, what the fuck? And like, I don't think they know. They do not even know. All right. I think we're on number 7. What is a challenge for them in this connection? What is a challenge for this person in the connection with 2 Desert Rose? A challenge for them. 8 of Wands. I think it just came too fast. It was too intense and too fast, and too much too fast. And it kind of caught up with them, and they were just like, like I had a freak out, like just a freak out. They really like control, or what they believe is control. And maybe they did rush in, and you guys went fast, and then they were like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Wasn't it stop? Yeah. A sudden stop, a sudden 180. Huh. All right. What are their current intentions for this connection? Current intentions. I don't expect a lot, because they seem to be in a frazzled way. What are their current intentions for this connection? 2 of Swords. Really to just assess what their options are, and to think about the choice at hand, and to decide, to deliberate on whether or not it's with you or without you, and like kind of as far as this connection goes, it's just making a decision, but kind of just waiting to see more about like how you are and how they feel, and just putting all the facts and the everything that they can gather together in order to come to some sort of decision about not only what they want to do, but what they even think or feel. All right. I feel like I need to put my little list down and somehow mark what question I'm on, because I keep losing my place. What do they really want to happen between you next? What do they really want to happen next? Two of Cups. I can see the confusion is all. Like, I'm just like, wow. I think this just tells me what they really want is you, but they have all this. You're right. Like, they brought out all this up in you. The connection is suffering because of it, and they did this thing, and you're just like, and they don't seem to know what they want. And I didn't have a lot of expectations to see something like this, but I get, when I ask what they really want to happen, I think they would like to be able to talk with you and get real with you and kind of sort this out. I think ideally they would like to come together with you. Oh, I read the question wrong. All right, you're getting another question. What do you really want to happen next? What do you really want to happen between you next? See, interesting. It's interesting to me that I would have taken this like in a heartbeat and been like, oh yeah, you want it to be this. Like, I'm assuming that you want that. But then when I asked the question as them, I was like, oh, that's what they really want. So I think maybe I was meant to get what they really want. But we will ask about what you really want. What does number 2, Desert Rose, really want to happen next? Temperance. You want balance and healing. You want something good to come out of all of this. All right. And you want it to matter and be significant and be major. And you want something beautiful. You want something valuable. You want something worthwhile and something that feels right. And just very healed and healthy. All right. What is this connection bringing to your life? What is this connection bringing to the life of our 2, Desert Rose? High Priestess. I think it's putting you in touch with your higher self. It's enabling your frequency to expand. I think it's helping you to access your deepest sort of intuition and your knowing through this fear and anxiety and concern and worry about like whether or not you were right or wrong, or if you were lied to. Like, you're really like learning to read the energy in truth. And there are a lot of mind tricks involved in that, but like this connection is bringing to your life like a higher kind of like power and a higher knowing you know, because you're personally invested in reading the energy of this situation. What is something for you to learn or see from this experience? Something for number 2, Desert Rose, to learn or see from this experience. Strength. Courage and strength. Will. Strength of will. Willpower. Fortitude. And a confidence in who you are. You should see that in yourself through the different emotions that you'll go through here with this, and the different questions you'll be asking of yourself. And you may have them, you know, in one moment be like, I don't know, you know, I don't know what's going on, but I know I'm worth this, you know. What question am I cannot. If anything were possible, what is their deepest desire for the connection? Bring my list out here and try to do what I said. Let me put something on it. Where are we? Okay. If anything were possible, what is their deepest desire for the connection? Question 13. If anything were possible, what is their deepest desire for the connection? Oh. Sorry. I didn't feel secure in stopping there. Four of Cups. So 4 of Cups is interesting in this deck. It's the only one that I really always end up going back to this deck's altered kind of interpretation of the card. Like, Four of Cups can be a very kind of like blah, detached energy. But in this deck, it struck me and stuck with me more than any of the other alternative descriptions or interpretations, that it has to do with letting things be what they're meant to be. And I think that is true here. Their deepest desire, when it really comes down to it, is to let this unfold naturally and be what it is meant to be. What do they want you to know about their current state of mind? What does this person want? Number 2, Desert Rose, to know about their current state of mind. Hermit, that they need some time to sort it out, to go within, to be alone, and to like think about it and search their soul and find the answers. And what do they want you to know about their heart? This is just this question. I was trying to make a question about like something about like who they are, like what do they want you to know about their heart? What do they want 2 Desert Rose to know about their heart? Knight of Swords. They want you to know that they will use logic and rational thinking over emotions every time. Even if they get carried away with their emotions, they have it in their nature to resort to overthinking and exerting control and trying to feel empowered through their mind and like their decisions, and to just basically base, you know, everything they do, even if they already did something else, they come back to this overthinking, and they want to like control it, you know, and like control the situation with their what they've come up with mentally, or what they're you know, to believe that they can control a situation mentally even. Yeah, that they feel really mentally powerful, and it actually, like, I feel like it actually annoys them about themselves at times, like that they wish they could turn their brain off and not be like this sometimes. It feels really like it has caused them to ruin some good things, and it has caused them to miss some opportunities, and it has caused them to hurt some people, and it's something about how they're made that just has bothered them, and they wish they didn't weren't always this way. They wish they could go with their heart more than just always, like, you know, just always be in that mental, like, emotionally dry place. All right. I want to get, actually, because I don't remember how many I got in the last meeting, but I'd like to get another one of these about something they would like you to know about how they're feeling, or like something they would like you to know about them with regard to the situation. Death. Yeah. That on some level they're going through a change and a transformation, and that they are coming to the end of a cycle, and can feel themselves wanting a new start, you know, in ways, probably more ways than one, wanting to kind of start over, fresh, new, not like go backwards and start over, like wipe the slate, like be completely renewed. What is emerging in the energy between you? What is emerging in the energy between two desert rose and the person? The Empress. That's some fertility and like freshness and fertile ground, which would be appropriate for any kind of fresh start, new beginning, a recognition and appreciation of the value here, and what this could be, the potential and the value. What is emerging in your energy? What is emerging in the energy of our number 2 desert rose person? Emerging. 6 of Swords. You're wanting to just move forward, just move past any bullshit, any past hurt, any wounding, like to just go forward. And I get the feeling that like it's like one way or another, like I just want to be happy, like I just want to be okay, like I cannot deal with this, like I just want it to be what, you know, what again, there was a feeling of letting it be what it's going to be, and that was on their side, but I think you have it too, like this kind of feeling of like, I just want to be not in this place, like going through this. Like I think you really would like to move forward with this person and get past old stuff. But you're also like, I think there's a part of you deep down that knows, you know, it's like shit or get off the pot energy. It's kind of like, well, if you're not gonna like really show up in like Six of Pentacles and give, and you know, give what I give, then, you know, I think there's a part of you that would be willing to basically, you know, move on your own. Like, but I think what the most important thing and what is emerging in your energy is you want the healing. I don't remember what the question was, but it was temperance, like what you really wanted. Like you just want to be happy. You just want to be good. And I think you do, like, you want this person at least to some degree and in on levels, but at the same time, you know, there's a strength, like we have the strength for you. There's a strength emerging for you as well to like just do what's going to be in your own best interest. What is emerging in the energy of the other person here? Six of Pentacles. I just said, if they're not going to be in Six of Pentacles energy, you want to move on without them. Like, and it looks like what's emerging in them is that reciprocity, is being able to give what they take. I think they're working on it. What might happen next between these two? What might happen next in between Desert Rose 2 and the other person? What might happen next? Two of Wands. That's like coming to the decision coming to a head, you know, like coming to the place of deciding which way to go with it and what you're doing, and just making a more committed and decisive action, like going for it if you're going to go for it, kind of vibe. But it is like still weighing, you know, two possibilities. It's like, what's coming next between you is this decision, and it's like, are we doing this or not? What is the current outlook for this connection? Ace of Cups. That's the renewal of passion and love. That's really beautiful. It looks like a fresh new beginning that we were talking about. Wow. Before I ask the last question, I just want to get one more of these on that one, which was the current outlook. Tell me about this current outlook. We had Two of Wands coming next, and the Ace of Cups as an outlook. Tell me more about the current outlook for this connection. Whoa. Anxiety. All right. I think you're both prone to anxiety. And I think that it's going to be something that doesn't just disappear. You know what I mean? Even if you do come back together and make this decision, and this person does decide to show up and give, and you do have a renewal and a you know, a renewal in your connection, in your relationship, and in your love and passion or whatever, like there's still, I feel, probably as much as you want healing and Six of Swords moving forward, letting go of the past, like as much as that is true, there's still going to be underlying probably wounding on both sides from way previous stuff that it might have you both being like kind of anxious natured people, especially if you both feel vulnerable. Because I mean, way back in the beginning, you had like this fear energy and fear, and I think I mentioned anxiety a lot with that. And I think that with them and their swords and their all their overthinking and whatnot, I think you both like are prone to anxiety, so it's going to have to be managed, so that, you know, when it rears its head, and it do, then you have to you know, be mindful of that. And that was the next question, is what is something you need to keep in mind about the future of this connection? Something you need to keep in mind about the future of this connection. What does 2 Desert Rose need to keep in mind? 9 of Pentacles. Just make sure and take care of yourself. Make sure you are, you know, taking care of your health, your mental health. Make sure that you're going to be okay with or without another person, but especially this person. Be mindful of, you know, the fact that you need to do things on your own and spend time alone sometimes, and they do too, and you just really need to be your whole individual self in order to show up in a connection. Watch out for codependency here. I can feel it all over this. That may have been something that struck this person. Like, they may have felt it coming off of you, and felt it coming up in them, and like been like, I don't want to do that. Like, I really don't want to be in that. Possibly from past stuff, but like, yeah. A lot of times anxiety and fear in connections is rooted in attachment sort of tendencies. So, you know, there's just going to be work to do, I think, is something that you're being asked to remain mindful of in your connection. And one more for that question from the Cosmic Laws deck. What is something number 2, Desert Rose, needs to keep in mind about the future of this connection? Vigilance and caution. And I feel this really just, you know, echoes what I just said. You have to kind of commit to your own personal healing, and to be able to be better in your relationships, at, you know, being healthy and authentic, and you know, you probably have no problem being very, very giving, possibly over giving, but you just have to be careful and tend to these tendencies, tend to them. You know, don't take it for granted that you're just like, when things are good, that everything's going to just be good, because things will inevitably come up. And that's the message I have for you. So, I hope this, if you made it this far, then it must have felt to some degree like your situation. And if so, I hope that you were able to get something good from it. And thank you so much, and I hope to see you again. Hi to group 3 with the labradorite and the Orion's animal deck. I have shuffled the Wheel of Fortune card back in, cleared it out, and we're going to go into your collective energy for this group for 3, for the labradorite, 3, and ask this list of questions. I've been struggling with, I should have printed them larger, because every time I look over, I'm losing my place. So I've set up this whole system over here. Hopefully it works. I'm just trying to you know, when I move back over to look at where we are on the list, hopefully it won't be so awkward and clumsy. I also would like to say that before I begin your reading, the last two just drained the shit out of me. And I thought about taking a long break, but I'm just concerned that I won't find the time to come back to this one because I don't have a lot of time, and this might be my last reading for a little while because I don't have childcare for a minute. But I decided to move forward because I have a better feeling about this one for what that's worth. All right? Okay, here we go. Got 21 questions for group 3. Labradorite. And the first question, what is the current vibe of this connection at the spiritual level? Let me see what happens if I turn on this light. Is that okay? What's the current vibe of the connection, the labradorite connection at the spiritual level? Three of Swords. What is happening today? So that just says that it seems like a broken connection, like a severed, probably a breakup or a split or at least a separation. So, but maybe my good feeling meant something else. We'll see. Another for the vibe of this connection at the spiritual level. Sorry, I can't help but laugh. I'm just like, oh my goodness. Is everybody in pain? I don't know. The Chariot. Okay. So maybe this is why I feel, you know, not too terribly dreadful going into this reading. Because at the spiritual level, we do have a breakup or split or you know, some sort of separation. It looks like some kind of heartache, but the Chariot is there, you know, which makes me feel that there's still a lot of positive energy for this love to prevail, and a lot of just like a focus on being better and being okay. You know, the connection, and that would be mutual, you know, like it feels that way. Let me just go on to how your energy is showing up in the connection. How is 3 labradorites energy showing up in this connection? 9 of Swords. That's pretty upset. And the Tower. So, okay. You're showing up as feeling a lot of anxiety, a lot of worry, really overwhelmed, maybe losing sleep, just really not doing well with the situation. But let's bear in mind, you got the Chariot is still existing there at the spiritual level, okay? And you're in a tower. You could even be in a dark night of the soul. Like this seems, these two together, you are going through what this would look like. You know, I said a dark night. When you come out, it's darkest before the dawn. That dawn is the new day, the promise, the return, the empowerment. This would be quite possibly another level of awakening for you. So, you know, as far as like your energy showing up in the connection, like while it probably has felt hellish, you know, there is something good in what happens when the tower comes. Like, it's like, it sucks when everything's coming down and all the rubble is around you, and like, you know, you're trying to just like, you know, stay alive or whatever, and then like you're able to, once that is settled, once that has happened, you're able to, you know, reevaluate and see things differently, see things clearly, see what really stands at the bottom, at the base, like what was faulty in the structure and what was solid. And so there's that. And then how is the other person showing up? How is their energy showing up? Nine of Pentacles. They seem to need some alone time. They seem to be focused on themselves and taking care of themselves. And Six of Pentacles. Yet at the same time, you know, energetically, at the connection level, you know, at the spiritual core of this connection, they want to be kind and compassionate. I think they have to feel, you know, they have to take responsibility for themselves and take care of themselves, and they have to do something. There's something that they have to do, that they're driven to do, they're compelled to do, that is by themselves. Whereas, you know, they do still maintain energetically this vibe of, you know, wanting the relationship. And it may not seem like that if you're in this kind of state, but that's what I see going on here. I don't know if this is making sense. It is a bit confusing, but it's just what I'm getting. You know, I'm going to get these and then we'll talk. I want to go over these 3 questions one more time. So again, for number 1, the energy of the connection at the spiritual level. Number 3, labradorite's connection. We have balance. That's shown up before. I mean, while we did have heartbreak, we did have victory. Like, there's something about good and bad, and like, and the balance of like what works and what doesn't work, like something sort of making it work. Like, there's something in the energetic core of this connection that is kind of setting itself, you know, like setting things right into balance. It could be a timing issue, could be about timing with this one, because there's definitely the duality. And I just feel, you know, when we talk about like balancing 2 kind of oppositional themes, like maybe it really just has to do with syncing back up and timing. And for number 3, our labradorite person, their energy, passion. Yeah, you're deeply invested. Your heart is deeply connected here. You feel this connection very deeply and with much strength and care, maybe love, right? I can see why that would be difficult then. Any kind of difficulty when you feel this way about this person. You don't want to lose that. You like what it's inspired in you. You like the way it, you miss the passion, I think. And their energy. rejection. Yeah, they're doing something right now. It's just that same feeling. See how this cat is playing with these balls or pentacles, you know, like balls of yarn it would be probably. But there's this feeling of this person just really needing to do something right now, needing to do something else that may not make a ton of sense to you, but it's something they're very compelled, that's in their nature to do, to take care of, to handle, to explore, like something they have to do. And, you know, if it feels like they've rejected you to do that, you know, on some level, there's still this part of them that cares about you and wants the best for you, and wants to be able to give you what you give, but they have to deal with something. That's all I get from that. You know, it's like they just have to, there's something they have to do, and they don't know why they have to do it even. They just have to. It's so bizarre. I wonder what it is. It'll vary, you know. This is a collective. So, what are their current feelings for you? This person's current feelings for 3 labradorite. Hanged One. Their feelings are on pause. Their feelings are that they're kind of stuck, and until they do what they need to do. They're just like, to them it's not over, it's just paused. They're just sort of like unable to do anything right now for you, with you. Like, it's like they just have to take care of this, and they have to just deal with some other situation that they're stuck in, and they have to you know, from this place and this absence of you and this pause away from you or whatever, you know, see things from a different point of view. What are their current thoughts about 3 labradorite? Their current thoughts about you? Ace of Wands. They still feel deeply attracted to you and think about that. They think about being in a place where they can take action toward you. And I mean like action, right? Like they do feel an inspiration in knowing you. Like they do feel inspired to get through whatever it is they have to do so that they can come, you know, come bearing messages and gifts and make up for lost time. That's just how I feel. All right. What have they been thinking about this connection? What have they been thinking about this connection? Oh, 8 of Cups. They are sad about it, that they had to walk away. They do think about, and I don't think it was like even a choice. It was like like I said, this like compelling, had to, like there's a sadness attached to it, but it was like it couldn't be helped. And it's like this sadness of letting you down, this disappointment in just the way things have to be right now and are. I wonder if they know what's going on. Anyway, what is a challenge for them in this connection? 8 of Swords. the challenge is that they are stuck. They are stuck in whatever this thing is that they have to do. I mean, I don't want to speculate, but it could be any number of things that someone would have to do. Like, you'll know if this is probably true for you because you probably have some idea what it is. It could be, you know, wrapping up another situation. It could be finding a job or a place to live, or, you know, those like practical concerns. It could be dealing with like a period of mental unwellness. It could be there's so many possibilities for what could be going on with someone who regretfully has to reject you, regretfully has turned away, is sad and disappointed about it, has to take this pause and, like, you know, is still, you know, thinking of you and looking forward to the day they can come toward you, and yet is now, you know, the challenge in, you know, for them right now is that they're stuck. They're stuck and they're trapped and they're like just really don't know how to get out of it right now. But the good news about Eight of Swords is there is a way out, and they will sort it out. And it's interesting to have the Eight of Swords and the Hanged One, because these are both kind of trapped energies and kind of you know, this Eight of Swords is, as a challenge, is a little more in the mind, as a little more of a like self-imposed issue, you know, whereas whether it's self-imposed or not, it feels like something they have to do. And that's why I brought up that it could have to do with like mental health and you know, like a period of just working through some shit and some issues, because there's something that they can't control about it. Like, they do look forward to being able to start with you. That's why I think this is interesting. You know, I said with the heartbreak, but like on the energetic level, there's still the Chariot. That's the movement. That's the victory and the triumph and the winning. And like, and with balance, like there's definitely this feeling of like things syncing up and lining up and being okay, like in the it's in the process of that is happening, you know, like that is like under the surface here at the spiritual level is what I asked about. This work is going on. There's probably, this is green, there's probably heart healing going on in both of you, but I think a lot of this has to do with them. Okay, what are their current intentions for this connection? This person's current intentions for this connection with labradorite 3. Six of Wands. They intend to rise. Like they intend to you know, come into a place of power and feeling good about themselves and feeling right. I think that this person might be dealing with, the more I see here, that I think this person may be dealing with some mental health stuff. I mean, and that's a crazy thing to just like put out into like the ether, but like it's, you know, it's what I'm seeing. Like their intention is to rise to the challenge and to be worthy and to be respectable and to be, you know, to match you, to match your goodness and greatness and ability. Interesting. This so far is better than the other ones. Okay. What do you, 3 labradorite, What do you really want to happen between you next? What do you really want? Three of Pentacles. You want to come together and make this work. You want to build together. You want to create together. You want the relationship to get grounded and grow. What is this connection bringing to your life? What is this connection bringing to the life of labradorite 3, King of Pentacles? You know, it would be easy to say, and maybe for some, that this is bringing you your own sense of self and your own sense of, you know, knowing what matters type of thing. And that's certainly possible. But I feel truly, and this is not a gender thing with the king, it being a king, but I feel this connection may be bringing your soulmate, you know, like this person may be that person. That's what I just feel from this. This is telling me this is, you know, the person that you want to build your life with. You know, it's showing up here over the Three of Pentacles, the building, the making it work with this person. There's the feeling that that's what this connection is ultimately handing you. It's just not easy, and it's not, maybe they're just not entirely there, you know. There's just some fine-tuning and healing and bullshit that needs to be dealt with. And I think it's quite possible that this connection is bringing you your partner and you're the person you want to make that life with, you know. What is something for you to learn or see from this experience? What is something for 3 labradorite to learn or see from this experience? What is something for them to learn or see? Knight of Cups. This is the expression and especially creative expression of your romantic feelings. I feel that for you personally, if you do something creative, this, you know, you have this passion card, so there's a good chance that you do whatever it is that you do that makes and that presents anything of beauty or value or interest to others. This is an opportunity for you to learn ways to express your feelings and your romance and your passion. This connection seems to be tied to the way you express, right? Like if it inspires you and brings up this passion, then, you know, this is you unleashing that to others and to this person and to the world. Like really just coming into the expression of your creative drive, you know, and your the things that you have to show and talk about and give. What is something they have learned or are seeing now from this experience? What is something that the other person here has learned or is seeing now? Knight of Swords. You're the Knight of Cups. They're the Knight of Swords. They're learning to communicate. They're learning to be brave, and they're learning to go after what they want. They're learning to Yeah, they're learning to express as well. They're learning to wrangle their thoughts and to learn how to communicate what they think, and find, whatever ways they communicate. They're learning because you're worth it. They're going to learn to, speak their truth because it's that, or risk losing something really beautiful and great. If anything were possible, what is their deepest desire for the connection? If anything was possible, what is this person's deepest desire for their connection with 3 labradorite? If anything was possible, what is their deepest desire? Death. I feel like this was in the last one for the same question. It doesn't matter. There's so much going on in all of the groups today. Death to me, because I just had to say it, is always that rebirth to me. It's always the end of the old and the beginning of the new, the next. One door closes, another opens. It doesn't mean, sometimes when I get the death card, I'll clarify to be like, you mean with or without? I don't need to here because this is one of my favorite death cards. I love all the death cards. It's my guilty pleasure, death cards. This one is so sweet. Look, it has the are those axolotls? Like intertwined and coming back together again. Oh, that's what I think their deepest desire for the connection is, to come together, reborn anew, as equals, as matching counterparts. Oh my goodness. That's really sweet. I want to get one of these for this question too. I've just kind of been randomly getting these. I haven't had much of a format. Talk to me about this death card and their deepest desires. Energy. Yeah. They're working on the energy to do this. They're building it. You know what I mean? Like, they're like creating it. Like, it's just this real, like, if you picture this down in there, that's what I think is happening. Yeah. They're working up the energy for it. They're storing it. They're creating it in themselves. I think they have been in a depleted state. I think this person has been down and out and depleted, and not by you. It's not about you. And I think that they want to bring more to you, and they want to be a match to you, which I said here with the 6 of Wands, like coming toward you, matching your energy, like being good enough for you. And then this death, being the counterpart of you. And like I said here, if this is the connection bringing you your soulmate, your counterpart, your person to build a life with, look at this bull. Like, that's like, mighty and strong. And if that's the energy that this person wants to be in, and their energy, they're like building it. It's all looking good. All right. Okay. Now we're going to get sweet. I just can feel it. What do they want you to know about their current state of mind? What does this person want Labradorite 3 to know about their current state of mind? The Empress. I think that this means they want you to understand that what they're going through is no reflection of you. Has nothing to do with how beautiful they think you are, how much of a gift they see you to be, how much they recognize that you offer them everything they could ever want, and how you could build a fruitful, beautiful life together. They want you to know that their current state of mind is not at all like about not seeing that in you, you know? What do they want you to know about their heart? So this question, I put it that way, but I'm really just, it's like, what do they want you to know about kind of like really who they are, like at the core, like as a person, like to understand them better? What does this person really want, number 3, labradorite, to know about their heart? I think they want you to know a lot of things. What do they want you, what do they want lab number 3 to know about their heart? Ace of Swords. That they do see, they do have the vision, they do see clearly, they do have a plan, they do want to begin, and they do know the truth of what you are to them, and that they do know the truth, that that's who they are. They are honest. They speak nothing but truth to you. Anything that they've said to you, I think it's with integrity. All right. What is the emerging energy between you? What is the emerging energy between Lab 3 and this person? Emerging energy between them. 5 of Wands. It's just really persevering, you know? Like it's really just still, it's not, I would say that the solutions and the beauty and the outcome are not coming fast. I would say that this is, there is still more navigation through difficulty to come. It's still, for you both, a challenging time. It's still, you know, and everybody knows, you know, there's free will and anything could change. But for the energy between you, you know, coming up here, there's still it's still tricky, you know? It's still tricky to get through this. It's not going to be over tomorrow. And everybody's just, oh, I miss you, I love you, and everything's great. You know, like I don't think that that's what is realistic. I think realistically here, there's still going to be more time of getting through it and getting through confusion and difficulty and stress. What is emerging in your energy? What is emerging in the energy of number 3, labradorite person? What's emerging in the energy of labradorite 3? Wheel of Fortune. I think that's the first time the wheel card came up. Your destiny is emerging. Your truth, your calling is emerging. This passion and this Knight of Cups, where we said what you're, learning or able to see through your experience here, this is speaking to this. This is a highly significant connection that has brought you, into your own personal alignment more. And if you're in a Nine of Swords, it may not feel that way, but I can tell you that it's happening. And I've seen it happen many times with people, and I've felt it happen with myself, so I know that it's true. You're coming into your own. You're coming into your fate and your destiny, and your knowingness of what that is, and your willingness to, move forward with that awareness and making the appropriate choices for yourself. What is emerging in their energy? What is emerging in the energy of this person involved with 3? It's emerging in their energy. 9 of Wands. They're getting their power on. They're working on this energy reserve, and they're working on like being courageous and being strong and decisive, and knowing how to be a warrior and to fight for themselves and to fight for you and everything. It's good. What might happen next between you? What might happen next between these two? What might happen next? Whoa, I just dropped a whole bunch of cards. What might happen next? Oh, that was upside down. Ha! I don't know if I just did that or what. Anyway, it's the Star. So, I see this as spiritual guidance and messages of hope and signs of hope and transparency in this situation, potentially information or communication directly, but certainly like through spirit, like messages through spirit. I feel like you will receive to give you hope, signs, like I said, of how things are going and what's happening. What is the current outlook for this connection? So this is typically like as far ahead as outlook. I'll call it an outlook. But it's like based on current energy, how are things looking, in the not too terribly distant future, but what is the outlook based on current energies? What is the current outlook for this connection? 6 of Swords. That's moving forward, putting the past behind you, moving through the rocky parts and the rough parts and the treacherous parts and smooth sailing, like moving forward toward better days and happier times. Let me ask that of this deck too. Current outlook for this connection. Current outlook for this connection. The energy of the current outlook for this connection. The outlook. The energy of the outlook. Oh, that's so weird. Anxiety showed up again. That was in the last one too. I'm going to tell you the same thing I told them. More so with this person, I think. as far as like outlook and this moving forward energy, you don't expect it to be just like like without hiccups, without anxiety, like we're saying all these beautiful things. I'm talking about the star, the sign of hope, and this beauty, and there's a lot of really cool, good, positive stuff in this reading, tons of it. But I think here, we're talking about moving forward. Six of Swords is moving to what serves you and moving, into better days. And it's interesting because this has like an anglerfish on it, which is just a hideous looking thing. And here he's looking at this anxiety card. And like, it just feels like the same thing I had to tell the last group. There's, especially if there's been mental health stuff, which I think there was here, anxiety will rear its head out of nowhere. And I say this as someone who suffered with it for as long as I can remember. My earliest memories, like age 2, 3, are anxious as fuck. Like, I think, it's a subject I know pretty well. And I feel, the message here is, even in moving forward, even in making a decision to do so, even in finding power and finding strength and finding purpose and finding meaning and all the beautiful things that came up in this reading, it's the type of thing that you only can learn to manage. You never make it completely disappear, and it can trigger, you can be triggered. And if you've had it, you know what I'm talking about. But it's here for a reason for me to bring it up and mention, especially if it's only really in this other person. And I think, for sure, with anxiety showing up in that Nine of Swords in the beginning for you, that you probably do know what I'm talking about. And you probably do understand, what they might be going through. But, there's both the message of you both being able to move past this, but also the fact that it can grab you again, and it's just something to be mindful about. And that's the next question, is what is something for you to keep in mind about the future of this connection? Something for labradorite 3 to keep in mind about the future of this connection. King of Cups. There's a lot of love and deep emotion between the two of you. It's a rare love. It's a beautiful love. But you have to, like, kind of learn to, in real life, take it in moderation, utilize all that emotion in a balanced way. Like this card up here, balanced. Maybe things just got so intense that it just triggered this person into like a frenzy. But like, keep in mind, moving toward the future, that there is the love, and that just because I just got that people love differently, and maybe you're more expressive because here's the Knight of Cups and this passion, and maybe you're like more freely open to expressing your love, but this person may be more reserved in the expression of their love. It doesn't mean they don't have the depth of feeling. And I guess that's really the message for you to keep in mind about the future of the connection, is that we all love differently and express our emotions differently. And this person can have a plenty, a multitude of emotions toward you, but still, not not necessarily express the same way you would. But you probably know that. And then I want to get you one from the Cosmic Laws deck about this question as well, like something to keep in mind about the future of, oh, this connection. This wanted to pop out and it's strength, but I'm still getting an intentional one. Oh my God. Now, come on. That was a lot. I'm not going to say they all wanted to pop out too. That was just me. Keep in mind about the future of this connection. Law of attachment. Going back to that, did we talk about codependency? Going back to that attachment to the way things are supposed to be and the way things are, you know, like the way people are supposed to express love and attachment to people, you know, that deep passion and that deep love, it can lead to something unhealthy and codependent, and I think it's just important to stay mindful about that moving forward, to stay independently strong in your own self, and to realize that, you know, you are this person and you can love so deeply and so fully and still you know, try to learn how to balance a thing, you know, balance the thing, and, you know, just be mindful of attachment attachment. You know what I'm saying, right? Be mindful of you know, the way attachment presents and whether or not it's healthy or feels constricting to someone else. You know, health and strength, health and health and healthy boundaries and strong sense of self and strong just faith and trust are required here. So there you have it. I do hope that if this was indeed your reading, that you got something good from it, and I hope I see you again. Thanks so much.